Hello. All right, I'm going to go live again and finish up the questions from last week. And yeah, you can say hi. Cora's here in the background. She thinks that live means we're going somewhere. So instead of me just sitting there and visiting, I'm going to do stuff while we visit. Because that way it's like a win-win. I get stuff done. It's not so boring sitting there watching me, but we still get to visit, and I will answer questions from last week. So here we go. Would we ever adopt? That's the first question. So it's not like a definite no, but it's not on our plans for our near future. But in the past, like one time when we had 3 children, that was on my heart to adopt. And my husband is so awesome. He'll support whatever. And he's actually always wanted to adopt. Even before we had kids, he even said that, you know, sometime he would like to adopt. And then we just had baby after baby after baby. And it just wasn't in our cards. But we started looking at the process to possibly adopt from foster care at one point. And at that point, and it might still be that way, but you could only have 4 children under the age of 6. And so we had 3, and then we had found out we were pregnant with our 4th. And so we said, well, we better wait until we have less than 3 kids under the age of 6. And then we had Inga, and then we had Benny. And so that just really never happened for us, and it still hasn't happened. So we kind of took that as our sign to, you know, it's not our time to adopt at this point. So we just did not. But it's a beautiful thing, and it's something that it's possible that we do in the future, but not any time in the near future probably. All right, the next question, how do I keep up with laundry? So I did a house tour today on our page, and on the house tour I was talking about the placement of our laundry room. And I love how our laundry room is central to our home. It's on the 2nd floor, and it's right in the middle. And all the bedrooms are up there. And so for laundry, it's really functional because all of the laundry is easy to get to that location. And so the placement of our laundry room does help me. The other thing that helps me is that my older kids do their own laundry. So starting with Evie, Inga actually is doing her own laundry too. So really, my older 5 kids, and then Liam does Benny's laundry for him. So really, my older 6 kids do their own laundry. And I sometimes will put it up for them. But as far as like getting it to the laundry room, washing it, and then putting it up, they do all of it. So that helps me a lot. The other thing that I do is I have a bin downstairs, and all day long I'm adding to it, like, you know, dirty dish towels or just clothes that show up or just whatever. I'm always adding to it. And then every day I bring that bin up at the end of the day, and then in the morning or sometimes even at night, I'll go ahead and start that bin or that laundry. And so that's kind of a catch-all laundry. And then there's a laundry bin upstairs that is, I'll fix it. It's okay. I'll fix it. There's a laundry bin upstairs that we also add laundry to. So I do that laundry every day. So every day there's at least one big load of laundry. We also have 3 washers and dryers, and that helps too, because if I were to calculate how much laundry we do a week, I probably should know this on the top of my head, but I would say like right now I've already done 3 loads, and I have 2 more that I'm probably going to do. So I'd say an average of 3 to 4 loads a day. So I would say 25 loads of laundry a week. It's a lot of laundry. And that doesn't count the laundry that the kids do for themselves. Like Jenna does hers, and Sam, I mean, they're always doing laundry. So we do a lot of laundry. But So having the catch-all bins and just doing the laundry as those get full is something that helps. Having the kids do their own laundry, that definitely helps. And then every time I go by the laundry room, whether it's, to go upstairs to make a bed or put something up, I switch the laundry or I put laundry in. So I'm always doing the next thing in the laundry room, like putting something up or switching laundry or folding things. So it's never really a task where I'm like, I'm going to go do laundry now. It's just something I do in between other things, if that makes sense. Because every time I pass by that room, I am doing something. And it never really feels like a chore that way, because it's just something that I do throughout the day. So that helps. And what else helps? I don't like wash bedding just to wash bedding. Like, I don't say, oh, it's Friday, I better wash all the bedding. I'll wash bedding if the bedding needs to be washed, or just as it needs to be washed. But I don't wash bedding just because. So yeah, and I don't separate laundry as far as like dark colors and light colors. I just throw it all in there, wash it all. I will separate like delicates, and I separate my clothes from the kids' clothes, and I try to separate towels. But other than that, I just throw it all in there and start washing. So I do stay pretty caught up on laundry for the most part. I don't, have piles and piles. Sometimes I see reels of, moms that say, oh, I have 8 kids or 9 kids, and here's my laundry, and it's like this huge mound of laundry. I don't let it get to that point, but that's because I just kind of do it as it accumulates, and I don't know. I just stay up on it. The other thing I do is I don't really fold clothes. So we always try to hang up clothes in our closets whenever possible, or I just kind of put it in a bin. So I don't really fold clothes and put it in dressers. We don't use dressers too much in our rooms. And that really helps too, because I don't spend a lot of time folding clothes. I put it in piles and then I move it to different rooms. But I don't really like fold clothes. It saves a lot of time. All right, the next question, how do I put my lashes on? So I use lashes from Wink Click is the brand, is the company, and I use, this filter makes me look really white for some reason. I don't know. I didn't even put a filter on. I don't know why it is like that. But anyway, I use Wink Click lashes, and this is Honey Lash. And so these are lash, I'm going to turn it this way. These are lash segments. And so every eye has 3 segments on it. 3.5 actually. I think I cut one in half and used it on the end. And so I used the glue from Wink Click, and I used the lashes. And it takes me not very long, maybe 5 minutes at the most. It doesn't take me long at all. And one set of lashes will last me about 10 days. So I don't change my lashes every day. When I wake up, they're already on, and that helps me get ready really fast too, because I don't ever have to do anything with my eyes except maybe a little mascara on the bottoms, but I don't do lashes on the tops, or mascara on the tops, and that saves me a lot of time. But how I do it is I don't use any of the tools. I just use a Q-tip. When I put my lashes on, I'll just kind of put it on there, and I use a Q-tip to kind of put it in place. I kind of get the Q-tip a little wet, and that helps me kind of press it in place. Here, Cora, you're okay. There you go. I washed that for you. I washed her little doll straightener for her play kitchen. She's in the playroom, just having fun. And Bo is sleeping. Okay, next question is, on lashes too, one other thing. I don't take showers, so I don't have water going over my head. That helps me keep my lashes on. And I take baths instead of showers. And then I do sleep in them, and I don't have issues with them falling off or anything like that. And so that's another thing that helps with lashes. All right, the next question is, what is the next question? Does each child have, I do a capsule wardrobe for my own clothes. And so the question is, do I do a capsule wardrobe for the kids? Like, is there a small amount of clothes that the kids rotate through for clothes? Not really. I've tried to make their closets functional enough where I can put all the clothes for all the seasons in the closet. And that's partly because we live in Arkansas and the weather here is crazy. Like sometimes it'll be 70 degrees and then the next day it'll be 30 degrees. And so if I have all the clothes out for spring, well, I'm probably going to need some winter clothes too. And so it's really nice if I have all of the seasons out at the same time, because you really don't know if you're going to need shorts in the afternoon and like a winter coat in the morning around here. So I try to keep all the clothes in their closets as much as possible. So they don't really do a capsule wardrobe, but we do have hand-me-downs, and I have a bin at the bottom of each closet that I put clothes if the kiddo has outgrown the clothes, and then I will hand it down to the next child. It usually works well with the girls because they are kind of stair-steps, you know, like Jenna can hand things down to Evie and Inga and then Roz and Cora. It's very nice, like it goes right down the line. But the boys, there's kind of a gap because Sam and Liam are about the same size. Liam's actually a little bigger, even though he's younger. And then it goes a big gap and then Benny. So for the boys' clothes, I do put it up in like an attic space before I give it to Benny. This is nice to not sit down. I'm getting like so much done while we visit. It's nice to like visit and feel productive. All right, so the next question, let's see. What age do I start potty training? I talked about this last time, but I always say to wait until the kiddo is showing signs that they're ready to potty train. Like they, go somewhere to go to the bathroom, like they hide behind a couch, or they show that they're, trying to go to the bathroom, but they still have a diaper on, but you can tell that's what they're doing, and they, or they show interest in it, like they show like they want to sit on the potty. So usually that's around age 2, 2.5, sometimes age 3, usually about 2.5. And I always say not to try to potty train before the child is ready, because then it's just stressful for the mom, for the child, for everybody. And then they end up not potty training until they're ready anyway. So usually about 2.5. So, and I usually don't push it. I wait until they're ready, even if it's later. I found that trying to make them potty train too early is just really not fun. But then once they show that they are ready for potty training, then, give them a lot of liquid, stay home for a few days, encourage them to go every hour on the hour, whether it's in the toilet or like a little kid potty, and keep the little potty or the bathroom where everybody is. Try to use a bathroom that's close by, and encourage them to go every hour, and then give them like a Skittle or an M&M or something to reward them. And then if they go, make a big deal about it and like cheer and say, good job, you went to the potty, and like make a little, like do a little potty dance or something. So it's like exciting for them. Let's see, what else? Okay, that was the next question. How do they know when they're ready for potty training? And the other thing on potty training, and even like other milestones too, is like your child will learn to go to the bathroom. I mean, sometimes it feels like they won't, because it's like everyone else is potty trained or everyone else has reached that milestone. Why hasn't my child reached that milestone? And I always tell people, I'm like, your kid will learn to go to the bathroom. I mean, everybody learns to walk. Everybody learns to go to the bathroom. Like, don't stress about milestones, because your child will learn to do all of the milestones. But I know it's stressful if your kid is behind. I've had children that have walked early, have walked late, have potty trained early, have potty trained late. And then there's a whole poop train too after potty training. It's a whole different thing. So just try not to stress. Your child will reach all of their milestones eventually. So don't worry about it. The next question, do we have an automatic generator for winter? We just recently set up 2 generators, one for our water pump. We have a well because we live in the country, and last year we were without power. I think it was like 3 days, or it was a long time. It felt like 10 days. But one of the hardest parts was that we didn't have water because we couldn't flush toilets, you couldn't take a shower, you couldn't wash dishes, make coffee. I mean, it was really hard without running water. You don't realize how much you use water until you don't have it. So we have a generator just for that. And so if we have water, I'm great. Like, I don't need anything else. But we hooked up another generator that will kick on if we lose power for storms or for winter or whatever, because we live in the country, and we get ice, and sometimes we do lose power for a few days. I'm hoping that doesn't happen this year, but it usually does. So it's good to be ready for it. And the other generator should kick on. I don't know if it's automatic or we have to go out there. I let my husband deal with that. I really have no idea. That's kind of like his thing. I don't deal with the generator, but I do want it to work. I will stay inside and take care of the kids, and he can make the lights come on and make the water run for us. So I don't know if it's automatic or if he has to go out there, but either way, we have them ready. And our second generator is it's one that will keep the fridge on. It will run a few things, but it's not going to like keep the whole house like warm and lit up, because our house is 10,000 square feet, and for a generator to keep all of like every air unit and everything on would be crazy huge. And we don't lose power that often for that long. So I'm like, let's just be reasonable here and just keep the fridge on, keep the freezer going, maybe a few outlets, few lights. We have gas fireplace, we have gas stoves, we have a wood burning fireplace. Like, we're gonna be warm, and we're gonna have food and water. We're fine. So that's our plan for the winter. Hopefully it works out like that. Okay, the next question, why don't I hire somebody to help me clean and move furniture? So that's an easy one. It's because I don't want to, and I enjoy that. I love cleaning my house. I really do. And I love rearranging. And sometimes when I'm cleaning my house, actually, it happens all the time. When I'm cleaning my house or rearranging, I think of other things that I need to either do with the house, or sometimes it's just an idea. Like, cleaning for me is kind of like driving. It's like a relaxing, you're just like on autopilot, and your mind can just think. And sometimes I think of things that I need to do within the house, like, oh, I need to order toilet paper, I need to order this, I need to do that. And then other times it's just I listen to music, I listen to audiobooks, but I don't want to hire anyone to clean just because I enjoy it. And I have done that in the past. Like, I have hired someone to clean, and there's definite pros to either one. And there's not a wrong way. Like, if somebody hires somebody to move furniture and clean, and that's fine. Like, go for it. You know, I mean, those people have jobs and they need, someone to hire them too. But I personally enjoy those things, and I don't want to hire somebody to do that for me. Why don't I see or hear about Evie much? Is she an introvert? I always get asked this. So Evie is our 4th child, and she's our 2nd daughter, and she is sort of introverted, but she loves like being in her room. She loves being at Grammy K's more than anything. So a lot of times when I'm like using my social media and I'm recording, Evie may not even be here. Like, she might be in her room, she might be at Grammy K's, and if I do have my camera, sometimes she's like, I don't really want to be on camera, and so I'm like, okay, like I'm never gonna force my kids to be on our page. If they don't want to be on our page, then I'm not gonna make them be on our page. So luckily that hasn't happened for most of them, but sometimes Evie doesn't want to be on here, and I'm like, okay. But then other times she really wants to be on here, and she's super goofy. Like, she can be quirky and funny and goofy, and then I'm like, okay, let's do it. So, but she a lot of times will get overshadowed by her sister Inga, who is her younger sister, but Inga is the center of attention. She is larger than life, and she's a performer, and she's funny, and she's loud, and she loves to be on camera. And so a lot of times I think Evie just kind of sees that and just kind of backs down from it, because she's like, whoa, they are complete opposites. But Evie is so sweet and so precious and so thoughtful, and the reason she's not on here is simply because she's either not home or she doesn't want to be. That's all. How tall am I? I would say I'm 5'5.5". Like, I sometimes round up to 5'6", but that's how tall I am. When is the kids' next break from school? So I think it's spring break. I think their next big break will be spring break at the end of March. And we don't really have any plans. Like, we're not going to the beach or taking a big trip. I haven't even really thought about spring break, but the kids a lot of times just love being home. They love just having that week to be at home, because during the school week, especially at this time of year, by the time they get home from school, and sometimes if they have sports after school, and then we, unpack our bags, eat something, it's almost dark. And so the only times they have at home when it's light outside are on the weekends. And then sometimes weekends are filled with basketball or volleyball or just, other things. So a lot of times for spring break, they just want to be home. And I'm okay with that, because they're happy. It's simple. Why not? So that's probably what we'll do. We'll probably just stay at home for spring break because they want to. But in the summer, we are going to be taking a trip. And I'm excited about that. What is the longest we have been without power due to a snowstorm? So here, I think it was last year. I think it was like 3 days. It might have been 4, but I feel like it was definitely 3. And then the longest ever was when we lived in Little Rock. We were without power for 14 days, I believe. It was crazy. It was so crazy. It was an ice storm. And we had just had Liam. So we had 2 little toddlers. Jenna was probably 3. Sam was 1.5 years, and Liam was a little baby. And I was working full time. Lucas was in residency. My mom was watching our kids, and we had 1 wood burning fireplace. We did not have a generator. And I remember I went to work, and I worked at a hospital, and so it was nice and warm wherever I worked. And I remember feeling really guilty that I would go to work, and it was so nice and warm there. I had lights, I had heat, and I had to leave my little baby and my 2 other kids at home, and they were all bundled up, and they had a fire, and they had blankets. But I remember just it was just a long winter, and it was 14 days without power, and we were so happy when we got power after that. But the ice storms are what knocks the power out more than anything usually. Someone asked about Jenna's cookie recipe. I do need to get that. I'm going to put a star by that one, because people keep asking that. She's my chef. She loves to make cookies, and I always have her make cookie dough for me, because I'm all about the cookie dough, not about the cookies. But the kids love to work with her and make cookies. Let's see, the next question. Bo has so much personality. They love watching him grow. Yes, he's a ham. Jenna watched him yesterday while we went to a basketball game, and she taught him how to give hugs. Like, if you say, Bo, give me a hug, he gives hugs now. He can do so many things. He loves peekaboo. He's just such a ham. Like, he loves repeating games. Like, if I make a noise, he'll repeat the noise. And he's everybody's little favorite. Everyone loves Bo. He's so fun. What teacher gifts did we give for Christmas? That one's kind of an old question because Christmas has been a while ago. But usually for Christmas, I give like lotion, a candle, and then money is what we do. Or sometimes I've done gift cards. But it's nice to give the teachers something because they have such a hard job and we just appreciate them so much. How old were the kids when we put them on different floors? I guess they're talking about bedrooms. Our bedrooms are for the most part all on the same floor, which is nice. And I love that our floor plan has the first floor where there's no bedrooms. It's just all living spaces, kitchen, and it's just functional for like entertaining, and all the bedrooms are upstairs. And other houses we've had, the bedrooms were all on the same floor. So, but you know, it's funny, even with all the bedrooms on the same floor and everyone in their own bedrooms, they all love to, not the older kids, but the younger ones love to sleep all in the same area. Like, they look forward to Friday and Saturdays because like Cora and Roz get to have sleepovers, and they all will find usually Inga's room or sometimes Evie's room. On occasion, Jenna will let them have a sleepover, but they all love to have sleepovers. And sometimes I'll let them sleep on our floor, and they make little pallets on the floor with pillows and blankets, and it's fun. So that'll probably happen tonight because it's Friday. Somebody asked, is Arkansas cheap to live? That's a funny question. I don't think anywhere is cheap to live anymore, but it's definitely cheaper than some places like California and places like that. But I remember hearing once that our area has a very high sales tax, like in comparison to other areas, but it's cheaper than some places in the country. But I don't think any place is cheap anymore. Which boy looks the most like my husband? I hear a lot that Sam and Liam both look like him, but I see a lot of Sam in Lucas when he was younger. Like in pictures from high school or when he was a teenager, I see a lot of Sam, but a lot of people tell me Liam is Lucas's clone, so they love hearing that too. They love hearing that they look like their dad because they look up to him so much. It's really sweet. Let's see. Will I damage the walls when I ever remove the wallpaper? So I did remove the wallpaper that one time when I put it up and it looked too much like the color of the wall, and so I just like ripped it off because I did remove the wallpaper that one time when I put it up and it looked too much like the color of the wall, and so I just like ripped it off because paper to replace it, I would do it the right way. And I'd probably they sell stuff that you can spray on wallpaper to remove it where it doesn't damage the wall. I'd be doing that next time. But I haven't actually had to remove wallpaper ever from a wall. Even when I worked in campers, I would, if the wallpaper was on really well, you can put it over that wallpaper, and if it was already peeling, you can get like a little blade and cut away the piece that was coming off so that you have a nice flat surface to work on. So I'll let you know if I ever do that, but hopefully the wallpaper that I've recently put up will stay for many, many years and I won't have to deal with that. But if I do, I'm going to take it off the right way and get some of that wallpaper removal stuff instead of just ripping it off, because that was not the right way to do it. Sometimes I show you what to do on our page, and then other times I show you how not to do things, and that was one of those times. The next question, how am I an introvert and on social media? That's a funny question. So, like me talking on here is not exhausting to me, because even though I'm talking to like thousands of people, I'm not like interacting with thousands of people. So, and even if I were, I could do this on like for a short time and then I would need to veg. So social media is perfect for introverts because it's not exhausting and it's fun, and you get to interact with people on your own time. It's not like you're at a party with hundreds of people that you have to talk to and be on for hours. It's short little bursts. So social media is great for people like me. what do we do for local channels? So we live in the country and we don't have cable. I mean, if we wanted to, I think we could have Dish or whatever, but we use YouTube TV for local channels, and it's really nice. And before that, though, we did have a high definition antenna, and it was really cheap. I feel like it was $20 or $30 on Amazon, and it picked up a lot of channels. I was really impressed with the amount of channels it picked up, even though we live way out in the middle of nowhere. But it was kind of choppy, and if we had bad weather, it was bad reception. But they have so many good high definition antennas that just plug into your TV and give people free access to local channels. YouTube TV we pay for, and I think it's $74 a month, but you get a lot of channels, and we really enjoy that. So that's one service that we do pay for every month for TV. A few more questions here. How do I hang things on the wall? I showed my little painter's tape trick the other day, where you get a piece of painter's tape and you put little holes where you need to put the nails, and then you put the tape on the wall, and the holes are perfectly spaced, and you just have to make sure it's level, and then you secure it, or put holes in the wall, put the nails in or whatever. If it's something heavy, I do use wall anchors, and I like to use the metal ones instead of the plastic ones because they last better. They're easier to work with. The plastic ones are just junk. But normally I use nails. If it's something heavy, I use screws, and I use wall anchors. And then sometimes, have you seen those hooks where you like scoop them in? It's like a drywall hook. Those are handy for mirrors, things like that. If it's on a string, if it doesn't have to be level, like you can just hang it right in the middle and then it levels itself. The hooks are nice. But if it's something that has more than a few hooks, then I would recommend using the painter's tape trick. It's a handy little trick. Okay, a few more. How do I cut around lights with wallpaper? I'll have to show that more on a tutorial. How I do it is probably not the way that professionals do it, but it works. Is I put the wallpaper up, and then I cut when the wallpaper is kind of not all the way up, but a little bit up. I see where the light is, and I make a little X, and then I make a bigger X, and then I just kind of make that spot bigger and bigger and bigger until it's perfectly on there, and then I just cut around, and it ends up working perfectly. And I do get wallpaper paste on the light doing that, but then I just wipe it off. It's no big deal. I'll show that next time I wallpaper around a light. I'll not do a hyperlapse and do more of a walkthrough tutorial. Where do I find your links? Somebody asked. So on our Instagram page, I have a highlight labeled either collaboration, if it's a partnership that I've done and I talk about other people's brands, small businesses, things like that. But if it's like an Amazon link, I will put that under a highlight labeled Amazon storefront. So all of the links that I ever share on our page can always be found on our Instagram highlights. Okay, last question. Do we ever all eat together? We eat together, but not necessarily like a old-fashioned sit-down meal type of thing. I wish we did, but it's just not something that I choose to make a big deal about. We spend time together, we still visit, but we're not necessarily all sitting down at the same time. And a lot of that is just because the kids are here, there, and everywhere. They're at the grandparents' houses, they're at basketball, they're at volleyball, they're at friends' houses. And so, like after school, for us to actually sit down for a meal would be more stress than it's worth, I feel like, at this point. Maybe in the future we'll do that, but we eat a lot at the island, like at the kitchen island, and I'll be cooking like 5 different meals for 5 different people, and like macaroni and pasta and nuggets and just soup and whatever people want. I'll just be making all of that. The kids are all sitting here at the island. We're still visiting. We're still eating, but we're not all together at the same time at the table. But then later, we'll go to like the living room, we'll watch TV, and everyone will all be together, and we'll be watching TV together and visiting. So I feel like just because we're not sitting down visiting over a meal doesn't mean that we're not spending quality time together. It's just not our thing to sit down together and eat together as a meal, as a family. So that's the answer to that one. Okay, I think I've covered a lot. happy Friday. I hope everyone is having a great day. And I think that's it for now.